game back here and everything, to shoot around and not just simply an open practice?
I feel it's good. I think our guys enjoyed the event last night. Had a chance to play a little poker last night as well. But it's a great environment. Like I said, they come out and support. They're really into it. So it's a good environment to be in.
What do you want to accomplish in tonight's preseason game against the next team that they're trying to, I think it's their debut, they're trying to figure out what they look like?
Just continue to build habits. I think offensively and defensively, just making sure we understand what we're trying to do, understand the concepts, and continue to keep getting better. So we know it's not a regular season, but we got to treat this as a way to get better, not just for us personally, but for us as a team.
You have an inactive list. You got some Kawhi, Mo, is on it.
Yes.
Just those two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, James naturally is a gifted playmaker, and I think he wants to get guys involved. Do you feel you're going to have to be in his ear more about just needing to score the ball? Because he really wants to get other guys involved. It looks like he's trying to do that first.
I think it's a fine line. I think he has to pick and choose, when to be aggressive, when to pass the basketball. But like I said, we know he can score the basketball, we know he can pass. It's a fine line. Like when we first got here last year, I thought he overpassed, and then he got aggressive, as we went along. But he has to score the basketball for us to be successful.
With obviously Paul, you lose one offensive and defensive. Is it kind of like when you throw out let's say a DJ and Norm out there, you have offense from one guy, defense from another guy. Is it kind of like, is that kind of how you see it?
Yeah, we got to do it by committee. I mean, when you lose a player like PG, the caliber player that's great on offense and on the defensive end, you got to just do it by committee. And I think DJ, defensively and Norm be able to score the ball and shoot the basketball. That's how we got to do it.
Chris seems to be a very competitive guy. When I've heard in these practices, a big talker as well. What have you seen from him? Just that competitive fire for this guy.
Yeah, just taking the challenge defensively. Like he's not looking to score the basketball. He's not complaining about shots. He wants to just stop the best player. And when he's guarding the guy, he takes it personally, takes a challenge. And so we love that kind of intensity. Especially with us struggling last year defensively, struggling with point of attack defense. I think it can really help us out in that area.
Other than Jeff and Gundy, what can you say about how your coaching staff has changed from last year to this year? Look for from those guys.
Just being more involved. I think JVG's coming in with a new defensive system, so understanding what we're trying to do, all the coaches have to know. And then offensively doing some different things. All of us have to know just in case our players have questions or we come in 45 minutes or an hour early, they can run the guys through the stuff. So they've been good for that.
Who are the new coaches? I know Amir's here. Who are the new coaches? You got Amir Johnson.
Yeah, just Amir Johnson. I'm just talking about like our coaches that have been here for the last 4 or 5 years. Just understanding what we're trying to do so they can teach these young guys.
Yeah. I'm trying to get at you, like, introduce us to who the coaches are, who your new coaches are.
You didn't ask me that.
That's what I'm trying to ask. Like, besides Jeff, we know about Jeff. We're talking about Jeff all week. Like, who are your new coaches?
Amir Johnson.
Last time Jeff was officially a coach in the NBA, I think it was a much different league. But he's been obviously watching a lot. You said he watched all the games last year. What have you seen about how that his kind of defensive mindset stuff adjusted to today's game?
I think he's had a change from when I played for him in Houston. The game has changed a lot, and so he's brought different variables to the game. Things you don't really think about. But I think when you commentate for 16 years and you're watching so many different games and see how teams are playing differently, I think you can kind of see and piece it all together. So he's come up with some great concepts that I haven't thought of and that I haven't seen. And so a lot of these guys are into it, they're locked into it. It's a little different, but I think it's good for us.
Remember you said you were trying to get him for a while.
Yeah.
When he finally said yes to you, were you kind of like surprised? What was your reaction?
Yeah, I was surprised. I knew there are a lot of teams coming after him, a lot of teams that wanted him, but for him to choose to come with us, I was a bit surprised, but I'm happy he's here.
What's your philosophy on, we talk about threes all the time from an offensive standpoint. What's your philosophy on defending the three? I've learned a lot last year about teams that are cool with teams taking a lot of threes because they want to cut off the paint. They have other priorities. They're like, hey, if you want to shoot the jump shot, we'll take more threes than you anyway.
Right.
Like, what's your philosophy on how you want to defend threes this year?
The game is so different. Teams are taking so many of them. You really can't stop a team from taking threes. but I think you got to pick and choose which ones you want to give up. And so we don't want to give up corner threes. Like above the break threes, we want to get out, challenge, and test. But in the corners, we got to make sure we're running guys off. Like we're not letting guys take corner threes because they're shooting a higher percentage from those spots. And so that's what we got to do.
During training camp, have you noticed anybody in particular that's stepped up in that leadership position?
James has been phenomenal. I mean, he's always been a leader, but I think, considering we got a young team, I think he's done a good job of just, we want to allow the sprints, allow the running when, guys are in trouble, but also just talking to the young guys like now, talking to Bones and just trying to get these guys to understand. And so he's been phenomenal in that regard. Just being a great leader.
Yeah, and a little bit about your player development staff, that's a huge part with the young guys. Is there anything, like any key points you have them focusing on with their development?
No, just, how we want to play defensively. So I think, with JBG having a defensive foundation is different than we had the last 4 or 5 years. Just working on that. I think trying to score and get shots out of our offense has been a little different. Like not doing your own individual stuff, like getting shots, how you're going to get in the game, and they've been doing a good job of that. Yes, ma'am.
Let's get ready for Hoop Jab.